Hey, honey,
Yes, Barry?
let's get out of here.
Where are we going?
Where do we always go?
Fascina el viento, este ritmo de palmas, sin mi naturaleza, hasta encontrar la playa. Por eso grito al mundo, yo soy de Puerto Vallarta. Samba de Puerto Vallarta, noche de arrullo en el mar. Samba de Puerto Vallarta.
Hello, fellow travelers. Welcome to this episode of the Puerto Vallarta Travel Show. I'm your host, Barry Kessler, and I'm just so happy to be introducing you to my favorite vacation destination. Maybe it's even yours, and that's Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. That music you're listening to is performed by Alberto Perez, and Alberto is the owner of the La Palapa group of restaurants here in Puerto Vallarta. Those are the La Palapa, the El Dorado Beach Club, and at night for dinner, the El Dorado transforms into the ever-so-romantic Vista Grill with the dramatic views of the Los Muertos Pier all lit up at night in beautiful colors. And of course, at La Palapa, you can enjoy that same view of the Los Muertos Pier all day long for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, seated with your toes in the sand right at the water's edge. It's so romantic. It's so Puerto Vallarta, my friends. This week, I have a couple of interviews, one with Christopher Maddox at Lighthouse Specialty Foods on Lazaro Cardenes on the south side of Puerto Vallarta, and then I have my featured guest, Mavi Graf of Arte Culinario, and we're going to be talking about her cooking classes and all about her. But first, let's find out what's happening this week in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, March 21st, 2018. Semana Santa is coming early this year, folks. That's right. Easter falls on April Fool's Day, and Semana Santa actually starts this Sunday, the 25th of March, and it ends Saturday, the 31st of March. And then on Easter, on Sunday, April Fool's Day, and then another week of spring break. And remember that during this time of year, Puerto Vallarta will be at full occupancy, and you're going to have locals on spring break from school. You're going to have families coming in from Guadalajara and the surrounding areas, and you're going to have people coming from the States and from Canada. So if you're thinking about a nice, quiet time, look out. The beaches are going to be crowded, the hotels are going to be full, and lots of college-age visitors having a great time descending on our beautiful Puerto Vallarta. Now, I talked about Semana Santa in an episode last year, of course, but I guess it doesn't hurt to do a quick review of the holiday and how it's celebrated here in Mexico. As you may have noticed, here in Mexico, they like to celebrate. They love holidays, and this is no exception. And they go big. And we're coming up on a 2-week holiday. It is called Semana Santa. It's Holy Week. It begins on Palm Sunday. It ends on Easter Saturday. And then Pascua comes along, starts on Easter Sunday, and it ends on the following Saturday. And Semana Santa is, without a doubt, the most important holiday in the Mexican culture. All over Mexico, Mexicans celebrate the last days of Christ during Holy Week with an elaborate procession, well, many elaborate processions, I might say, ceremonies, rituals, all kinds of stuff. Now, most of the larger Semana Santa celebrations include dramatic reenactments of the capture and the trial and the crucifixion of Jesus. Mexicans have been known to practice acts of physical torture, public displays of political and social ridicule, and displays of resolutions and commitment. And as I mentioned last year, some of those more devout regions of Mexico, like in Tasco, for example, the reenactments actually include penitence, men and women showing their penitence and proving their faith by inflicting physical pain. Many of us have seen these reenactments. They are very interesting, I must say. Okay, but in Puerto Vallarta, they don't really go all out. They don't go all Tasco on us. They do have lots of parades and processions, and it's pretty cool. But just be ready for the crowds, you guys. Today is the birthday of Benito Juarez, who was the 26th president of Mexico. And Juarez was born on March 21st, 1806. And although they actually celebrated the holiday on Monday due to, believe it or not, there's Article 74 of the Mexican labor law, which provides that the third Monday of March, regardless of the date, will be an official holiday in Mexico. As with Constitution Day, the holiday was originally celebrated every year on the same date, March 21st, but the federal labor law was modified in 2005, so the holiday is always celebrated on a Monday. However, this day is the date of Benito Juarez's birth. That was a mouthful. Okay. Let's do a quick wiki search and let's just see what is all about here with Benito Juarez. He was from a poor rural indigenous origins. He became well educated, and he married a socially prominent woman of Oaxaca City. And he identified primarily as a liberal. He wrote only briefly about his indigenous heritage, and he was a key figure in the group of professional men in Mexico's indigenous South, and his rise to national power had its roots in that power base. He was not an intellectual star of Mexican liberalism or a strict ideologue, but he was a brilliant, pragmatic, and ruthless politician. He held power during the tumultuous decade of liberal reform and the French invasion. In 1858, as head of the Supreme Court, he became the president of Mexico by succession, mandated by the Constitution of 1857, when moderate liberal President Ignacio Comonfort was forced to resign by the Mexican conservatives. Juarez remained in the presidential office until his death by natural causes in 1872. He weathered the War of Reform, which was from 1858 until 1860, and a civil war, which was a civil war between liberals and conservatives, and then the French invasion, which took place between 1862 and 1867, which was supported by the Mexican conservatives. He never relinquished the office, although he was forced into exile into areas of Mexico that wasn't controlled by the French, and it's said that Juarez tied liberalism to Mexican nationalism and maintained that he was the legitimate head of the Mexican state rather than Emperor Maximilian. When the French-backed Second Mexican Empire fell in 1867, the Mexican Republic, with Juarez as president, was restored to full power. In his success in ousting the European incursion, Latin Americans considered his a second struggle for independence, a second defeat for the European powers, and a second reversal of the conquest. He is now a preeminent symbol of Mexican nationalism and resistance to foreign intervention. Juarez was a practical and skilled politician, controversial in his lifetime and beyond, and he had an understanding of the importance of a working relationship with the United States and secured a recognition for his liberal government during the War of Reform. Although many of his positions shifted during his political life, he held fast to particular principles, including the supremacy of civil power over the Catholic Church and the military. So, happy birthday, Benito Juarez. Today you would be 212 years old. Shucks, you don't look a day over 66. Get it? You lived to be 66 years old. All right. Let's get on with the interviews, shall we? Sometimes when you're not looking for it, you find it. I'm in an interview, of course, and I'd just been stood up by an interviewee. I had made an appointment a week earlier for an interview, and I'm pretty sure that my victim was just too hungover to sit with me. I'm not going to tell you who he was, and I'm not going to tell you where it was, because, well, I don't want to embarrass him. And who knows, he might get sobered up just in time for my May or June visit when I come back to Puerto Vallarta, and, well, we might talk then. But anyway, I was walking down Lazaro Cardenes across from the market when I came across a couple of guys who were enjoying a couple of cold beers. Uh-oh, booze again. But anyway, these guys weren't too far gone. In fact, they were more than happy to talk with me. Actually, one of them was. His name is Christopher Maddox. So I made lemonade out of lemons, and I asked if he could talk to me about his place. Now, this place, when I talk about holes in the wall, this is a real hole in the wall. It's called Lighthouse Specialty Foods. It's right across the street from the Lazaro Cardenes market. So let's go right down to Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, and let's have a conversation with Chris Maddox at Lighthouse Specialty Foods. Hey, Chris. Thanks for talking with me today.
Hey, I appreciate it.
Tell me about yourself. What was your path to Puerto Vallarta?
Well, I've been in Puerto Vallarta for 11 years now. I used to have a big restaurant in North Scottsdale, Arizona, called the Ironwood Grill in Carefree, Cave Creek area, by the boulders. And been down here for 11 years. I've decided to go back into the kitchen. And so we opened up a little deli business and trying to corner the market for the gringos.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I'm looking at your... You've got like a whiteboard out here with a menu on it, and it looks like Gringo Fare.
It is Gringo Fare, and we also sell to quite a few restaurants as well. They buy a lot of my bacon and different products for their breakfast menus, and also the bars buy my sausages.
Okay, so tell everybody what you do. What do you do here?
Well, I'm the chef and owner, as well as my partner, Steve Link, and we've opened in August, and been nothing but great response. We are open 7 days a week, 9 to 5, on Lazaro Cardenes, across from the Emiliano Zapata Fruit Market. We do Italian sausages, bratwurst, sauerkraut pickles, pickled beets. We do smoked turkey breasts, smoked ham hocks, smoked thick pepper, maple smoked bacon, a lot of things that you just can't find here, from the Mexican fare.
Yeah. So you have a smoker here on premises?
Yeah,
Is
we
that what
built a
happens?
smoker on premises. We took out the grill that was here, and we actually converted an old ice cream freezer into a smoker.
Ingenious. Yeah, I was just up at Rio Barbecue, and they've got a safe up there.
Well, they got a big one. Yeah, yeah.
All right. So, what is your background in this chefing business?
Well, I apprenticed under 3 master chefs in the United States, a German, a French, and an American.
Wait a minute. This sounds like a joke.
No, it sounds like a joke, but it's not.
Okay, all right.
But I did a apprenticeship for about 7 years under 3 master chefs through the American Culinary Federation.
Nice.
I became a certified executive chef at the age of 24.
Ooh.
Had my own restaurant at the age of 27. And did very well with that for a number of years. And I took a different path for a while, but I'm back. I'm back to my roots.
That's great. What would you say is the most ordered item on your, that you put out?
I would have to say our thick maple pepper smoked bacon is probably one of the best sellers that we have here.
Really?
Yeah.
So tell me how you prepare that. What's going on with that?
We do cure whole sides of bacon, and we maple glaze them, pepper them, and we smoke them for about 4 hours in our smoker. And thick slice them.
Yeah, these guys aren't kidding, man. I mean, I just tasted some of what they do here. He's got this crazy honey baked ham. And then what was that second thing you gave me?
Second thing was spinach artichoke dip.
Oh, God.
Which everybody loves that.
Oh, no kidding. Yeah, you'd be crazy not to.
That's right.
And he also gave me a little piece of this candied
ginger.
Ginger, thank you.
Yeah.
It's
Candied
a long
ginger.
day. Tell me how you prepare that.
Well, basically what I do is I peel it, which is not very fun. I peel about 2 kilos of it.
Wow.
And then I slice it, and I boil it 3 different times, strain it, and then at the end I do a caramelized sugar mixture when I'm boiling it, and strain that, cool it, and then coat it with the sugar.
Wow.
And it's great for seasickness and for your stomach. It's a 2,000-year-old Chinese seasickness secret.
Oh yeah. Well, my mom, whenever I had a bad tummy, she'd give me ginger ale.
That's right.
And so that's what that went.
Exactly.
That's how that goes. This place that you are in right now,
Yeah.
What was it before?
It was actually very similar to what we're doing right now. Gentleman Ben used to own it.
Oh, okay.
Unfortunately, he got sick and came down with Parkinson's and just couldn't work anymore. So basically, we took over what he was doing and enhanced it a lot more. We don't serve food out of here. It's more or less a deli type of a restaurant situation where you come and pick up your Italian sausages and you cook them. So it's kind of nice not to have to schlep over the stove all day long.
Yeah.
But that's how we got here.
Is there any, other than chorizo, is there any sausage making going on in Mexico?
There's one other gentleman that I know here that does do sausages, but that's all he does. Mm-hmm. And he doesn't have a shop. So we decided to kind of take it another step, and we're always adding new and different things. Yeah. Canadian bacon and things like that. So. All right.
Yeah. You definitely you have a real service going on here.
We try.
And I would imagine that most of these people are expats or people that have heard from you.
Most of them are Canadians, expats from the United States. Surprisingly, there's a lot more people here in the summer now than there used to be.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of condos going in, which is great for us.
For you guys,
we're in a great location. So we're right across from the big fruit market, and we got a lot of traffic, and we're very excited.
Yeah. Well, when did you guys take over? When did you start this operation?
We bought it probably in July. Spent about a month kind of redoing things, painting and reorganizing, deciding our menu, and then we opened up in August. And right from the get-go, we were very busy.
Excellent. You guys show over at the Lazaro Cardenes market?
We tried to get in this year, but we were just a little bit too late. Mm-hmm. So the plan is next year to do the big market there and also probably the marina. We're going to try to get into the La Cruz market as well. So,
okay. Yeah. So you're going to get into that circuit.
That's right.
Yeah. It seems like when I walk through those markets, it's about 50-50. You got half expats working those things, and then you got half locals.
That's correct. Yeah.
Yeah. What would you say is your biggest challenge here, doing what you do?
I really don't think that there is much of a challenge.
Do you have any problem finding ingredients that you need?
Sometimes I do have a little challenges with ingredients. But that's easy because I have a lot of people that come down and they're more than willing to bring me, products or spices or things that I maybe can't get here. Mm-hmm. But I think for the most part, it's really becoming a great city as far as place to live, and we have the comforts just like back home now.
Yeah. Cool. Let's kind of make a little bit of a detour here. Sure. I always ask my guests to tell my listeners where they like to eat, their favorite restaurants. So I want your favorite breakfast, and I want your favorite lunch, and I want your favorite dinner.
Wow.
I know it's hard.
It's hard because I'm a chef, so it's very tough because I usually can cook it better than most restaurants.
I feel the same way.
However, Freddy's Toucan is wonderful. Pancake House is great for breakfast. Lunch, I've been dying to try this new Asian pho restaurant over by Costco.
Yeah, they got a pho restaurant.
Yeah,
here.
It's a pho restaurant, which that would be a good thing for you to check out as well.
Yeah.
As far as lunch goes, yeah.
You work during lunch,
I work
right?
during lunch, yeah.
You're eating here.
I'm eating my own food
dinner?
now.
I figured that.
Yep.
How about dinner?
Dinner, that's a tough one. It depends on what I'm in the mood for.
All right, so let's go fancy, and then let's go mid-range.
Well, if you're going to go fancy, probably Café de Artiste or La Leche, or Sonora Grill Prime in the marina.
Uh-huh. They just opened one here, didn't they?
Yeah,
the street?
they did. It's in the marina. I don't know if they opened one here.
Oh, I thought I saw one.
Maybe they did.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
But we're open 7 days a week, so we're here
you guys
a
are open
lot.
7 days a week. Yeah,
9
you
to
guys
5.
are working way too hard.
Yeah, we are, but we have fun. So
I can see that.
Yeah,
these guys, they know how to work. They take over the sidewalk and they say hello to everybody that walks by.
Yeah,
and they look like they're having a great time.
We do.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so you got Café de Artiste, which is the fancy one. What about something that's a lower level that you like to hit?
You know what? For a really good economical meal, There's a place in the marina called La Colajita,
Okay.
which is Mexican, but it's seafood. So it's great seafood. They do a great job. The prices are great. And when you sit down, they give you a bottle of tequila, so you can drink as much as you want.
Okay.
You have your entree, which is they give you soup, entree, and it's 150 pesos or less, and it's huge. It could feed 2 people.
Wow, and that's
then
in the marina.
It's in the marina, and then after dinner they give you a little Kahlua and a dessert, a fried plantain banana.
Dude.
It's really
All
good.
right. Yeah, I'm going.
Yeah, you should
I'm
go.
in. Absolutely. Actually, I'll be there tonight.
Yeah.
I think I'll go stick my head in there.
Absolutely, and it's only open I think from 12 to 6. And It's packed every day.
No, I won't be there in time. Oh, well. Next time.
Next time.
If you're going to be leaving town just for a day, like a day trip,
Sure.
where would you go?
Yalapa. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
It's better to have a palapa in Yalapa than a condo in Redondo.
Dude. Yes, you're absolutely
Yep,
right. Yeah,
for sure.
And I've been to Redondo. It's not that great.
It's not that great.
No, it hasn't.
No. We used to do a lot of sailing. My partner Steve had a 64-foot sailboat, so we used to take groups over there 4 days a week and had a lot of fun
At Yalapa.
in Yalapa.
Oh,
Yeah.
man. Well, that's the way to visit the bay. You
It is.
got to get on the water.
That's right.
Okay. If you had a word of advice to a first-time visitor to Puerto Vallarta, what would you tell them?
Don't stay in an all-inclusive. Get out, meet the people, and enjoy the restaurants. There's hundreds of them.
Perfect. Is there something I missed? Is there something that we didn't talk about?
I don't think so. We're always going to be adding new and different things, keeping it exciting. I'm sorry?
The smoked fish thing, we smoke fish for...
One thing. This is
Yeah.
very important. If anybody goes out fishing and catches a marlin, a mahi, a tuna, anything,
Yeah.
we will smoke it for free, cryovac it for them to take home, but we keep half.
All
That's
right.
our deal.
Oh, that's great.
It's a great thing.
That is a great deal for anybody.
It
Now,
really is.
Is it okay to take that stuff home?
Sure, absolutely. If it's
Okay.
cryovac'd and sealed properly, which we do,
Yeah.
then it is.
And then you put it on ice, or how's that done?
Doesn't have to be. It's smoked. It won't go bad.
Whoa.
Yeah.
All right. That's a great tip. Okay. Where are you located? And
We are in,
are you online? You got Facebook? anything like
Facebook, we are. That's it. We are on Emiliano Zapata on Lazaro Cardenes, 557 in Puerto Vallarta in Old Town.
that? Excellent. I'm going to have a map that will show exactly where you guys are. What's the name of your place?
It is called Lighthouse Specialty Foods.
Lighthouse Specialty Foods. Well, I got to tell you, Chris, it's been great talking with you today.
Hey, I
Thank you
appreciate
so
it.
much for letting me introduce you to my audience.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you, Chris. Chris is a good guy, and he did a great job answering my questions right on the spot, didn't he? I have his contact information in the show notes and pictures of his place. And if you're in the mood for some home-cooked items, the hard-to-find stuff when you're in Puerto Vallarta, go on down there and see what he has. Bring some home to your condo, to your Airbnb, and enjoy some of his really fine cooking. Okay, now, in the first episode of the show, I promised you I'd bring you chefs, cooking classes, and caterers for your special celebrations, or for your wedding, whatever, your anniversary dinner with friends. Maybe you want to learn how to cook a fantastic, Mexican meal. Well, my next guest is the featured guest for today. Her name is Mavi Graf, and Mavi is a star. She is a rock star in Puerto Vallarta, and I don't mean rock and roll, folks. This woman knows how to cook, and when Mavi caters the event, you know that you're in for a wonderful culinary experience. She has a business called Arte Culinario, culinary art, and her creations are truly works of art. And she'll teach you too. So with Mavi, you get two for the price of one, a cooking class and a caterer. Mavi holds her cooking classes in her home. It's a lovely condominium over in Marina Vallarta, overlooking the sailboats and the motorboats and their slips, just below her balcony, where the cooking class actually takes place, inside, and then Afterwards, the students get to enjoy the delicious food that they've created right there with a beautiful view of the marina. And, of course, with the help and guidance of Mavi, who is going to show them, who shows them how to cook wonderful Mexican fare. So let's go right now and let Mavi tell her story. Let's go right to the condo overlooking the boats and their slips in Marina Vallarta and chat with Mavi Graf of Arte Culinario. Hi, Mavi. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me in your show.
Tell my audience a little bit about yourself. What was your path to Puerto Vallarta?
Well, I came to Puerto Vallarta, 33 years will be this January 1st, trying to start a new life with my 3 children. And indeed, I found a new life. I have worked in the tourism industry since. I came here without speaking English, and I learned it here. So I guess Vallarta gave me new life in all aspects of my life.
So you started in the tourist industry.
Mm-hmm.
What were you doing?
I worked for the Holiday Inn when I just came here in 1985, and then I went to work in a small hotel that is called V.S. Loma Linda in Amapas. Mm-hmm. And then from there, I even worked for a PGA Tour for a year and a half from here, from Puerto Vallarta. And then I opened a store. We took over a store that was already open, and that became a whole new career. It was a gourmet store. And then from there, I started cooking for other people. Up to then, it has been only for us, for the family, the friends, etc.
Okay, so when you were working at the other hotels or the resorts and stuff, you
I was an administrator.
Oh, okay, all right. So you weren't in the kitchen.
I was not in the kitchen. I was an administrator. I always cooked because I grew up in the kitchen, but I was not cooking for other people.
Got it. Okay. All right. So, then tell my listeners about what you do at Arte Culinario.
Well, mainly I give cooking classes. This is something that I kind of discover that I was good at it. People like it, and I enjoy them so much. I started with a cooking class for friends in October of 2009. And I enjoyed that so much that probably it was more for me than for them
really?
At the beginning.
Yeah.
And then little by little, the people kept on talking with other people about it. So that's how I got to be a daily thing. And then my daughter opened an account for my cooking classes in TripAdvisor. Uh-huh. And then people start putting their opinions, and that's how the whole thing is started.
Wow. Okay, so that was just for cooking for friends,
from
a group of friends. Yeah. And then just from there, it went to word of mouth, and then from word of mouth, right to TripAdvisor.
Yes.
And that was in 2009, you said?
2009.
Wow. Okay, so when you put on these classes, where did you start? Did you start in your place? Did you have a place?
Okay. My classes are held in my home here. People come, people that have contacted me and have a reservation, we agree on a menu beforehand according to their if they have allergies or food restrictions. So I have to design a menu that is good for them in all aspects. And they come to meet me here in the house, and from here we go and do our shopping for the ingredients on that menu that they have chosen. Mm-hmm. We go to different markets, to my favorite butcher, my favorite fishmonger. We go to a tiny little spice store that is in Pitillal that I love. And then we go to another market for the fruits and vegetables. And then we come to my place to cook.
Wow. Okay, so you give them the Mexican experience of shopping in a real Mexican produce store and that kind of thing?
That kind of thing, yes. A lot of people will be here only on vacation, and they don't go beyond the first two streets in downtown,
Yeah.
They stay within the same zone. So I have had the experience of people that have been coming for 25 years to Puerto Vallarta, and they didn't know what it was behind the stadium, across
Right.
from the Sheraton.
Yeah.
And they found that Cinco de Diciembre neighborhood has a lot of neat shops and one amazing fish market.
So that's where your favorite
That's-
fishmonger is.
Yes.
Okay, but you're at the
Yes.
marina, so
Yeah.
I'm surprised that your favorite fishmonger isn't here in the marina.
Well, here is mostly what you find here is mostly sports fishing. So most of the time they keep it,
Okay, all right, that makes sense. So the people that take your class, they are going to tell you what they would like to learn how to cook first. Is that what happens?
I give them a series of different dishes in both traditional and contemporary Mexican cuisine. So they decide if they want to do traditional or contemporary, but they can also mix it if they want to see part of it.
Okay,
You
so right, so you kind of give them a choice. You say,
Yes, it's their choice of what they want to, what would they like to do.
okay, and these people are mostly, once again, they're TripAdvisor, or and word of mouth still, right? I mean, it's still happening
yeah.
like
We
that.
don't do any advertising.
Amazing.
Yeah.
You
And
are
we
a
stay
lucky
busy.
lady. Look at you.
Yes.
All right.
Yes,
All
and we
right.
stay busy, thank God.
That's wonderful. Now, I've been told, and speaking of produce, I was told, and I've seen some of my friends washing their vegetables. They take their vegetables and they soak them in some sort of a solution, and then kind of rinse them off, I guess, in filtered water. Is that true? What are they doing there?
Well, there is this how can I say, idea that the vegetables that we get here will be water with not so clean water. However, what we have in this area within the Valle de San Jose, Puerto Vallarta, all this area is very good underground rivers with very good water. I don't believe that we have that problem. However, just to make sure, because the health of my students is primary.
I would say so, sure, right?
I use drops that are made with the oil of grapefruit seeds.
Okay.
That is good for that. But also, I'm trying to keep green everything. I try to avoid as much chemicals as possible in my food and in the ingredients and the things that we clean with. So normally we use a sink full of water and a couple of cups of white vinegar to clean all the vegetables.
Oh, okay.
Which also works very well with berries because
It
it
does.
stops the mold and the
Wow.
how they get molded
Oh,
really
yeah.
quickly.
Yeah, they're
that will
the
stop
worst.
it. At least we'll slow it, so you can keep them nice and red and beautiful for a little bit longer.
Oh, what a great tip. Okay, you guys, write that down. All right, don't forget. I'll put that in my show notes if I can remember to do that. When people are taking your classes, how long should they prepare to spend?
Okay, classes last somewhere between 5 to 6 hours. It takes us two to go do all of our shopping, and then 3 to 4 hours to cook and enjoy them. During the class, while we are cooking, we will be having some appetizers that one is already made by the time we get here, and some aguas frescas. You know what aguas frescas
Yes,
are,
I
right?
do.
So
Love
we'll have
aguas
aguas frescas and some guacamole and chips and all that. But also people will make another different type of salsas, and that will be something that we munch at when we are cooking.
Yeah, that's a great idea. So you can actually take advantage of the things that you've learned right away.
Exactly. And the class is a 3-course class, so we try to get the appetizers made quickly.
Yeah, and out of the way, right?
Exactly.
Okay, cool. What are the costs? How much does it cost to
The
take one of
class
your
costs
classes?
$140.
Uh-huh.
Some people will consider that pricey. It's not.
No, it's not.
Once you're here, you'll see. And
Once you've learned from the master, you guys, listen up, man. This is
No,
this is what I've been told. No, you're the greatest. So you know what? 140 is a bargain.
well, it's a round of golf for a lot of the guys that complain about with their wives coming to the class. It's cheaper than a round of golf.
Yeah, and not only that, but it'll last your guy a whole lot longer than that round of golf,
Yes.
right? Because you're gonna be cooking for him. Although you probably have guys coming to
Oh
this
my
class,
God!
don't
I
you?
have
Come on,
guys.
right?
I have a couple of guys from Canada that have been coming to the class for 3 straight years.
Really?
And they too come, and their wives stay at the pool sipping margaritas.
Oh, so they come and they just sit right out and
The
sit
wives
downstairs.
stay at the pool, sipping margaritas, and the 2 guys come and cook with me. This is the 3rd year that they have done it.
How smart are the ladies?
Yes.
These ladies are brilliant. All right. That's very funny. All right. So you do other things, right? You cater events, yes?
Yes, I do. We do catering and not many events, but enough to keep us busy. I have a very good team of freelancers, all students that came out of the culinary school of Bahia de Banderas, in at the entrance of Nueva Vallarta.
Oh, okay, yes.
And they're very good. I have the same team for the last 4 years. And they come and cook with me whenever I need it, and that's very, very nice.
Yeah, good for you. You've got dependable people to help you out.
Yeah, because sometimes I have been out and I've been asked to cater a party, and when I tell them I'm not here, but if you trust me, my team can do it.
Mm-hmm.
And we have done it a few times, and they have come out with flying colors.
Excellent.
So that made me very proud.
So to be able to, if somebody has like a party, what would you say would be like your minimum kind of a party of something?
Oh
to
no,
cater?
a minimum will be 6 people.
Uh-huh.
In that way, is also cost efficient for the host, and also in my part.
Right.
So it's 6 people, but I have had people that go, I only have 4, but I will be paying you for 6.
Uh-huh.
So what can you do? And we
okay.
do that kind of thing.
Right.
So we kind of arrange the menu so it's worth it.
Oh, good. Okay, so when you guys are like staying somewhere and you want to have a wonderful meal served, you know exactly what to do now. Now, I was looking through your website. You make gift baskets too.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Okay. I have put together several types of baskets, and the idea, I started only with baked goods, things that I make here in the kitchen, because I have been giving those as presents for my friends for many years by now, in between infused oils or salad dressings and vinaigrettes and jams and all that kind of things. Because of that, a friend of mine years ago asked me if I can do some for the teachers at the American school and for the Christmas present. So that's where the idea came. Well, maybe we can offer them to somebody else. And it has been really good. We make kind of, we make a couple of dozens for the holidays.
Okay. Oh, very neat. Very neat. All right. That's so that's another idea. I always ask my guests to answer a couple questions. It's kind of the fun round where we go take a little trip through Puerto Vallarta. I ask if they have their favorite breakfast and lunch and dinner place that they might be able to share with my listeners. So I know that a lot of people in the food business are a little hesitant to pick one or two just because they've got lots of friends and they've got lots of restaurants. So you can pick one or two if you want. But where do you like to go for breakfast, or do you eat breakfast?
I normally have here at home. I normally have a smoothie. Both my husband and I like that. However, when I go out for breakfast, I'm going to have a real typical Mexican breakfast, which is going to have some tacos. Lamb tacos are for me the best thing in this area. In Puerto Vallarta has one amazing place for that, and that's where I like to go. That lamb tacos and a cup of coffee.
All right. So what's it called?
El Taquito Hidalguense, right behind Lay's store.
It's right behind Lay's. And again, what is it called?
Taquito Hidalguense.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Really? A lamb taco. You're killing me.
It's lamb that it has been cooked in over burned mezcal leaves, maguey leaves, and they create like a basket to put the meat in those burned leaves of maguey and cook it for all night long on top of very hot rocks in a hole in the ground. When that comes out in the next morning, you will think that you went to heaven. Really, it's that amazing.
Wow. All right. Now I gotta
Somebody's
go.
going to have some tacos right now.
I gotta go. You're making me so hungry. Okay. All right. That was breakfast. What about lunch?
Lunch, I usually like lunch here at the house. But if I'm going out, I probably will go to Ocho Tostadas behind the stadium
Yeah.
and have a shrimp cocktail and a nice cold Pacifico right next to it.
Nice. Excellent. Okay. And
for dinner?
Dinner?
I have three places that are my favorites. If I want to have a nice dinner out, I will go to Trio's restaurant. For years has been my favorite. Then if I want a night with the family with good food, flavorful, I will go to Archie's or to Celia's. That's Senaduría Celia's.
Yes. I had Senaduría Celia last night.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
For over 30 years, they have been amazing. So those are the three places that I will go for dinner, depending on what I really want.
Wonderful. Okay. All right. Take note, boys and girls. I'll have those in my show notes, so you don't have to like write it all down while you're driving down the street. It's okay. Don't worry about it. Do you now? You mentioned a couple that were kind of hole in the walls, right? Because you've got that taco stand. Is there another like a hole in the wall or a kind of a dive? You understand what I say when a dive, kind of a place that you would never think would have something really good behind the door.
Well, there is one place that there is one place that I just discovered a couple of months ago, around September, and it's a place that is somewhere across from the airport on the back streets of that neighborhood, and you go through a empty lot, and it's like in the middle of nowhere. But I was really surprised that my friend took me there, and it's this restaurant that sells seafood, ceviche and, shrimp cocktails and all that kind of stuff. But this lady has been so popular that even in the middle of nowhere with no advertising, the place is packed by locals every single day.
Wow. But you can't remember what it's called.
I can't remember the
just
name.
Someplace
they call her
behind-
La Tia, the aunt, but I don't know the name of the place. And I gotta go and find it again, I
Yeah,
guess. I went in
alright.
September. It was wonderful.
Wow. All right. Well, maybe I'll go look for it too. Very cool. And there's places like that all over this place. It's amazing. You walk in, and it's just a big surprise. What's your favorite place to get dessert?
That's difficult because obviously I will get dessert here, and I'll tell you why. because I don't eat a lot of sweets.
Oh, okay.
But my favorite dessert is to have cheese and dates. That's plenty of sweet for me.
Uh-huh.
Cheese, dates, dry apricots, and a little bit of 80% chocolate. That would be my dessert. So sometimes I pass on that. And
Yeah, no kidding. Say no more. I mean, it sounds great to me. What if you were going to spoil yourself in Puerto Vallarta? Let's just say, for the ladies here, what would you suggest one do other than come and take one of your classes? Price is no object.
Oh, I will rent a nice yacht, or a sailboat better.
Uh-huh.
A sailboat better, and I will go out in the bay and just ask the captain to turn off that engine and use the sails and just see if we can see some whales and have a nice glass of bubbles there and just enjoy the bay and the breeze and the views.
Perfect. Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm with you there. I'm a sailor, so I know what happens when you turn off that engine. It's so nice. What's your favorite day trip around the bay?
The favorite day trip will be going to Las Animas. That's a great place to go.
Yeah. Do you go directly from the marina, or how do you?
No,
do
we usually drive. Usually drive to Boca, and then from there take the Panga.
Okay. Yeah. Nice. Yeah. That's you're not alone because there's a lot of people there that like it too.
And sometimes we drive to Boca and walk, which is a very nice trail. That's a very nice trail. I have done a few times.
Yeah, that is a great trail. And if you guys haven't seen that, I have an episode called The Hike to Boca de Tomatlan, and I also have a video that I took of the entire trip. So if you really want to see what it looks like, although what it looks like right now is beautiful and lush and green, and when I took it, it was in May, and it was kind of brown. But you can at least see what the terrain looks like and see if it's something that you would like to do yourself. What advice would you give to a first-time visitor to Puerto Vallarta?
Do not stay in an all-inclusive. I think that if you want to see Vallarta, stay in a local hotel and enjoy and getting to see the town and the restaurants and all of what Vallarta has to offer. If you're just looking to stay away of home and be in a warm place and forget about telephones and you just want to rest and stay isolated, well, stay in one of those. But if you want to see Vallarta, really feel it, stay in a local hotel and go to all the different restaurants that we have here.
Yeah, my biggest problem is walking down the street and trying to figure out which one.
It's a good problem to have.
It's a good problem to have.
Yes.
Well, I want to ask you if you would please tell my audience how they would contact you and where they would find you on the web.
Okay. I have a website. You can log into it and check what we do. Is www.arteculinario-mavigraf.com. Or you can email me at info@arteculinariomavigraf.com. On Facebook, we have a Facebook page, Arte Culinario by Mavi Graf, and we have also a gallery on Instagram and Twitter. I'm not the one that do that. I have my daughter that does that.
You have a guest tweeter.
But you can see a lot of the pictures of what we do, and on TripAdvisor there is a lot of wonderful people that have come to my class and submit their opinion about what we did and together in the kitchen. So I hope you can check it out and give us a chance to cook with you.
Yeah, and as we were saying before, with that round of golf being about the same and that round of golf being gone, just about as the minute you leave the golf course, this will be with you forever. or at least until you lose your mind, one or the other. First, whichever comes first, Is there anything that I missed? Is there something that you wanted to say before we
Well,
go?
I do believe that this is something that I would like to do in other countries. I would like to take classes in somebody's house. I do believe that will give me the chance to really feel and see how this family lives and how a regular person in a country can just live. It will also help me take down any type of preconceived ideas that we have about how the others are, the people from another country. I take very serious what I do because I think that I'm representing Mexico, and I want people to see that we are good people to know and to be with. So
Excellent.
I think that's about it.
Well, I appreciate that. And I appreciate you coming on the show and allowing me to introduce you to my audience.
Oh, thank you very much. This was a very different way to start the year, definitely.
Thanks a lot, Mavi.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, Mavi. Mavi was so wonderful to come on the podcast. Now, you remember when I told you about how sometimes the real interview happens after I put away the microphones. Well, Mavi was telling me that when she made a decision to have the classes in her home, her husband was really against it. Like the safety factor and all. But she said at some point, you need to trust people. To invite them into your home and let them see a little bit into your life. That's how we build trust between cultures, between boundaries, she says. And she said basically that it was the most wonderful thing that had ever happened to them. The people they meet, the relationships that they've built have been absolutely amazing. And it's been the biggest surprise to them. Just the friendships, and these friendships have grown into more than just a cooking class. And that's classy. I hope, Mavi, I hope it was okay for me to step in and add that part of the interview that came after I put away the microphones. So, again, I want to thank you for inviting me into your home, for making me feel like part of your family too. You're one of a kind, Mavi, and I want to thank you just so, so much. Okay. Well, that should do it for this episode of the Puerto Vallarta Travel Show. Next week, stay tuned for more on-the-ground reports from Puerto Vallarta with travel tips, great restaurant and excursion ideas, and more. And until then, remember that this is an interactive show where I depend on your questions and suggestions about all things Puerto Vallarta. If you think of something that I should be talking about, please reach out to me by clicking on the Contact Us tab and sending us your message. And remember, if you're considering booking any type of tour while you're in Puerto Vallarta, you must go to vallartainfo.com, that's JR's website, and reserve your tour through him right from his website. Remember, this is a value-for-value proposition, my friends. His experience and his on-the-ground knowledge of everything Puerto Vallarta in exchange for your making a purchase of a tour that you do anyway. You're just doing it through him as a way of saying thank you. Thanks, JR, for being our guide. It costs no more than if you were going to use someone else. So just do it, really. And when you do take one of those tours, email me about your experiences. Maybe you can come on board and share with others what you liked or didn't like about the tour. Again, contact me by clicking on the Contact Us tab and sending off a message. And don't forget, JR's got his maps and his DIY tours, his revitalized happy hour board, and more. I've got links to all of those in the show notes, or just go to vallartainfo.com and check them out yourself. And once again, if you like this podcast, take the time, please, and subscribe and give me a good review on iTunes, if you would. That way we can get the word out to more and more people about the magic of this place, Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. And I made it easy for you to do just that with each episode I create go to my website if you haven't already and take a look there. I have links to places that we talk about. I have interesting pictures and more right there in the blog posts and in the show notes for each episode that I create. So check them out for sure if you haven't already. So thanks to Christopher Maddox of Lighthouse Specialty Foods, and thanks to you, Mavi Graf. Make sure that you contact her next time you're in town, take one of her classes, or hire her to cater one of your special events. You won't be sorry. It'll be great. And hey, thanks to all of you for listening all the way through this episode of the Puerto Vallarta Travel Show. This is Barry Kessler signing off with a wish for all of you to slow down, be kind, and live the Vallarta lifestyle. Nos vemos, amigos.
De Puerto Vallarta, noche de arrullo en el mar. Samba de Puerto Vallarta, noche de amor junto al mar. Solo camino eterno por la playa, me encuentro junto al río cuando todo está en calma. Pronto cae la noche, brillas Puerto Vallarta.